Back again for a review of a science fiction film from 1987. This is RoboCop. This Blu-ray is the Fox release. I did not buy the Criterion release. This release is chock full of special features, just endless. It's got a commentary with the director, a bunch of making of featurettes, some from 1987, others updated, Q&As, all kinds of stuff. So I didn't really feel a need, and the picture quality is great, so I didn't really feel a need to double dip and buy the Criterion release. I think this release is just fine, and it's relatively inexpensive. I also I didn't buy I'm not particularly interested in the remake that they did in 2014 or the sequels. I mean, if I can watch it for free, I may do that. But this movie, when it came out in '87, was a huge hit. It was produced for about $13 million, and it made $53 million box office. So a huge hit that spawned, of course, the two sequels, and of course this reboot, which I'm not interested in that. A comic book TV series, all kinds of stuff. And I remember in the '80s when it came out, it came out at the same time or similar time frame of the Terminator. So it was, you had a lot of movies in the '80s that were depicting futuristic paramilitary type futures and societies. During the Reagan period, I think there was a lot of, at least Hollywood anyway, was petrified of the possibility of us becoming a police state. I think so the film has a lot of foretelling of the future, and some of it's, actually quite accurate. You've got the Kevlar suits that they introduced in the movie, and those suits are now used a lot in the police force and military. The film is set in Detroit, Michigan, which in a futuristic Detroit where there's high crime and the city's on verge of collapse. Well, hint, hint. I think that's where we are today. And there's parts of Detroit that's abandoned now. So the movie has a lot of meaning even today from that standpoint. Paul Verhoeven directed it, a Dutch director. He did Total Recall, right? And he did Starship Troopers. So he's done some good movies, but he's also known for the Golden Raspberry Awards and actually showing up in person to accept the Golden Raspberry Award for Showgirls, which I think I've seen that. It's been so long ago. I don't know that it was horrible, but anyway, he showed up in person. He was the only one to ever show up in person to get his Golden Turkey Raspberry Award. My favorite actor in this is not Peter Weller, although he's great in this. I liked Ronnie Cox. Ronnie Cox plays the corrupt corporate exec that's creating these futuristic robot cops and trying to parlay that into a money-making scheme, as you would expect. In this case, though, Peter Weller plays a family-oriented, good cop, just trying to do the right thing, and he runs headlong into a bunch of Detroit hoodlums that just blow him up, and shoot out. Really graphic. This is the unrated director's cut. It's a very graphic. Shoot his arm off and shoot him in the head and things like that. And the police and the corporation rebuild him into a cyborg, basically. And his mission is to protect the city. And there you go. That goes from there. Peter Weller was not initially supposed to be the star in this film. They were looking to get Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Ironside, and even Rutger Hauer, but everybody was too big for the suit. They were too big. And apparently the suit took 10 to 11 hours to get on, even before you could film. So, but I thought Peter Weller did a great job in this. It's certainly one of his best movies. Maybe this one and Buckaroo Banzai. The film had an X rating when it came out. One of the only X-rated films that was non-sexual. Mainly for the graphic boardroom scene where the guy's shot like 60 times by a machine gun robot. I mean, it's so ridiculous now; it's over the top. And I think the director even indicated that it was his cut was so gory and violent. It was intended to be over the top, almost in a comic relief fashion. And it really is today. It's like it's just so silly. But I think it's a really good film. I have not seen the sequel. As I said, I've not seen the sequel or the remake, and don't really intend to. But I would recommend at least picking this up. This is in many people's category of films, science fiction, action thrillers. I don't consider this a horror film. It's in their top categories. Even I think even Roger Ebert likes this movie, which is hard to believe. But most people have this in their top 100 or top 10 of all-time films. So I recommend it. I give it a 8 out of 10. Thanks.